4 minutes, but I feel like today's video is going to make up for that. Today, I'm going to be telling you guys how I made $1,000 off of my edits by TikTok's creativity program. I'm going to be going over everything that you need to know, nothing more, nothing less. So we're going to go over 3 points. The first one being what is the creativity program beta on TikTok, and the second will be how to get in and the rules and whatnot, the requirements. And then the third and last point will be execution, because I feel like that's very important. So let's discuss. So first I need to give a brief backstory, introduction, and how it came to be first, and then we'll hit those 3 points. TikTok pays you to post on their platform. Ever since I started uploading on TikTok, that was my main goal. I wanted to get paid by TikTok. Now, I always thought that it may not have been possible because, as some of you know, it is really hard for us editors to get paid for what we do, since a lot of movies and franchises think that we're trying to steal their movies and like take their credit and whatnot, even though we are literally the reason why people go and watch stuff. We have a harder time, but I didn't care. I was manifesting it. I was like, universe, like, do your thing, you know? And then it was around, I think August is when I got the offer. I was so excited. Now, since we've done a little introduction and whatnot, let's start with the first point, which is the creativity program beta. What is it? So once again, TikTok pays their creators for posting on their platform. And one of the ways they pay us is the creativity program beta. I don't want to make it too complicated because it's really not. Every 1,000 qualified views you get, you'll get a certain amount, and your amount that you get is based on your RPM. I believe that means revenue per minute, but some people are like, oh, it means rotation per minute. I don't really know. Revenue per minute makes the most sense to me. So yeah, basically they pay you every 1,000 views. So we're going to go into my creativity program stats right now to kind of get a glimpse. Okay, and this is how much I've made in the last 30 days. Estimated reward is 1,037. My qualified views are 2.7 million. And then my RPM is 38 cents. You may be thinking that's not a lot at all. And actually it is, because when I started this, my RPM was only like 2019. So every 1,000 views, I get 38 cents. And so this RPM is different for everybody, it seems like. I don't know if it's based on country or person or account. I have no idea. But I just know that ever since I've been posting more consistently and my videos have been counting, my RPM has gone up to the said 38 cents that we are today. And now let's get into the rules and requirements. Now I'm sure you all want to know, what are the requirements, right? So the creativity program is not available for everybody. It depends on your country or whatever. So they just opened up in Japan, and I'll give a list of where it's allowed. So that would be the first requirement. The second is you have to be at least 18 years old. And I know a lot of you guys are like, oh my God, I'm just gonna like not even try now. I don't know if you guys know this, but most social media platforms that want to pay their creators will allow the child to go under a parent. So for the longest time, since I wasn't old enough, I would always ask my mom, I would go under my mom's name and I'd be fine. So as long as you have supportive family, supportive parents, you know, or a supportive sibling, older sibling, go under there. The third requirement is you have to have at least 10,000 followers. And the fourth requirement is have at least 100,000 video views in the last 30 days. We will talk more about the views and the followers at our last point, which is the execution. And one thing I need to mention is that the creativity program, it is mainly going to be approved if your video is 1 minute or longer. And I know you guys are screaming like, how am I gonna make a 1 minute edit? That's crazy. We are about to talk about it because we are at our last and third point, execution. We have a couple problems, right? I have to have at least 10,000 followers. How am I ever gonna get there? Followers is actually so much harder to get than views, let me tell you that, because it's easy for people to look at your stuff and keep swiping, but it's not easy for somebody to actually like push follow. You know what I mean? This is different. I do have a very helpful video. It's called The Best Ways to Grow Your Editing Account. That's definitely going to help you as far as like what route you should take and whatnot. As far as additional advice, it's just to stay consistent. You have to stay consistent. You get followers and views, I feel like you can slack off, but when you're growing, consistency is your best friend. I always tell my friends, I feel like you just have to get to know your followers and what they like. I know kind of what will flop on my account and what's going to do well because I've studied like what does well on my account. Also, if you go to your creator tools, I think you have to have a business account, and you go to analytics, it's going to kind of give you an overall rundown of your account. So it's going to tell you what time people are looking at your edits, what content people like the most, and it tells you like where your followers are from. I always say you have to do your homework. Like that's, you have to figure out like what's going on with your account and what you can edit, what people like. I know a lot of you are like, well, the other problem is 1 minute videos. How am I going to do that? So once again, in the best ways to grow your TikTok account, in that video, I give a few edits that you should post. And one of them are called scene edits. And this is what I do for the main part to earn my revenue. It's basically just edits where people can watch a scene or a snippet of the movie. So the way I do it is that I kind of label them so that it's relatable to a specific audience. It does gain attraction on my account. I mainly do it for me as well because I just love doing them. And so when you're making a scene edit and you're putting in the whole scene or the whole storyline, obviously it's going to take up to a minute. And another thing I do is called trailer edits. So this is specifically with The Last of Us. I have posted kind of edits that look like a trailer, and those are usually obviously up to a minute, sometimes 2 minutes. And last thing I kind of want to mention, which is super important. I thought at first I was not making a lot of money. $80 a day, maybe. I know that's a lot for some of you. I get millions on my edits sometimes, and I was really confused. So because we're editors and we're editing, different movies and such, people will claim that it's unoriginal. And so sometimes TikTok will definitely strike the video and say you are not qualified. That's happened to me a lot. Sometimes it's annoying, but in the long run, the videos that will qualify, it's going to be worth it. I don't know if you guys know about like cryptocurrency because a lot of my audience is young, but for crypto, you basically like invest into it and then you leave it there for a couple months and hopefully you get a lot of money by the end of the year or something. That's kind of how I feel with TikTok. I'm going to post and try and make it, my main source of income right now as a high school student with no job. But I call it an investment. So even if my videos don't qualify for the creativity program, I still know that it's going to gain attraction and lead more people to my account, which will give me more opportunities. And I feel like that's the best way to look at it. That was a lot of information, but I hope it will serve you well either now or in the future. I definitely think that every editor should try to get into the creativity program. And I told you everything that's mainly important. You can do more research or whatever, but I told you like what's important for us as editors, because some people will tell it to you as like influencers who show their face and vlog their life. Like we are in two different categories because, it's hard.